Few motorcycles have managed to carve a legacy as enduring as the Honda VFR. Since its first appearance in the mid-1980s with the legendary VFR 750F, the series became synonymous with precision engineering, unmatched reliability, and the unmistakable smoothness of Honda's V4 architecture. For decades, the VFR stood as Honda's engineering showpiece, the motorcycle that proved Japan could blend racing DNA with real-world usability without compromise. The VFR line evolved through several generations, including the technologically ambitious VFR 800, Interceptor, and later the VFR 1200F, each introducing innovations such as VTEC variable valve timing, single-sided swing arms, and Honda's early adoption of dual-clutch transmission. While sales fluctuated, the VFR nameplate retained cult status loyalty, making its quiet disappearance from Honda's lineup in the early 2020s all the more puzzling for enthusiasts. Honda may now be preparing a seismic shift in its motorcycle lineup with indications that a new V4 engine, potentially destined for a next-generation VFR 1200, has progressed beyond rumor into tangible patent filings. The iconic VFR nameplate has been absent from Honda's catalog since 2022, leaving fans bewildered and critics skeptical about the brand's strategic direction. Recent leaks and patent imagery are being interpreted as clear signs that Honda is developing a compact V4 power plant, a rumor that aligns with enthusiasts' calls for a return to the marque's roots. The concept image of the new Honda VFR V4 immediately signals a dramatic shift toward a more aggressive and modern sport touring identity. The front fascia features sharp LED headlights with a horizontally split layout, giving the motorcycle an assertive, almost supersport-like presence. The sculpted fairing lines integrate smoothly with carbon-textured aerodynamic inserts, suggesting Honda is pushing the VFR into a more performance-oriented direction compared to the softer, rounded styling of past generations. The chassis setup shown in the render reinforces that impression. The motorcycle appears equipped with gold inverted forks, hinting at high-spec suspension, possibly Showa BFF or Öhlins depending on final production choices. The front braking system uses Brembo calipers, a notable upgrade over previous VFR models that traditionally leaned on Honda's in-house components. This signals that Honda may be positioning the VFR V4 not only as a sport tourer, but as a machine capable of competing directly with European performance tourers. From the side profile, the concept reveals a compact and muscular midsection, with the engine tucked neatly behind multi-layered body panels. The single upswept exhaust canister appears more streamlined than the bulky units of older VFRs, supporting the idea of a lighter, more efficient platform. The seat design suggests improved ergonomics, with a slightly sporty posture but enough padding to maintain long-distance comfort, a balance that has always defined the VFR identity. Perhaps the most intriguing detail is the overall proportion of the motorcycle. The low tail section, wide tank, and tightly packaged engine area strongly evoke a true V4 configuration, aligning well with the patent information. If this render accurately reflects Honda's design direction, the next VFR may deliver the sharp styling, premium hardware, and modern attitude fans have been hoping for. A clear signal that Honda is not just reviving the VFR name, but reinventing it for a new era. Some media outlets have framed these developments as a homecoming for one of Japan's most beloved sport tourers, though closer scrutiny reveals substantial questions about the engine's market relevance and design philosophy. The patent filings, publicly released in late 2025, include multiple technical innovations such as a low-friction lubrication circuit and a reworked cylinder head attachment method, details that suggest active engineering work. Interestingly, several diagrams depict what appears to be a parallel twin layout, likely representing only one bank of the intended V4 design, rather than a standalone two-cylinder engine. Another patent highlights cooling channels routed through the engine's V-angle, signaling that thermal management is a top priority for Honda's engineering teams. Yet, caution is warranted. Patents serve primarily to protect ideas, not to confirm production plans. Many such concepts never reach a manufacturing line. Honda's last major V4 effort, the VFR 1200F, featured a 76 degrees V-angle, distinctive firing order, and an optional DCT, making it a technological showcase during the early 2010s. The model drew both praise for engineering ambition and criticism for its weight and complexity, factors that influenced its market reception and long-term survival. The newly discovered designs appear noticeably more compact, perhaps a calculated response to earlier critiques about mass and packaging challenges. Honda's documents describe an auxiliary oil reservoir housed within the crankcase, improving lubrication for critical components such as the alternator and water pump. A detail that hints at durability-focused engineering. One notable absence in the patents is any indication of a shaft drive system, a signature feature of previous VFR generations and a strong part of the model's touring identity. Instead, the designs imply a shift toward a chain final drive, which could reduce weight and cost but may erode the premium, long-distance luxury appeal traditionally associated with the VFR series. Analysts point out that patent filings typically include multiple redundant design pathways, many of which are never used, making any specific conclusions highly speculative. Complicating matters further, Honda has not issued a single formal statement confirming a new VFR or even acknowledging the newly surfaced V4 project. The broader market context also raises questions. With the industry trending toward lighter, more efficient, and sometimes electrified platforms, a heavyweight V4 sport tourer may face a narrow commercial window. Still, for many enthusiasts, the return of a V4 Honda, even in early conceptual form, represents hope that the company intends to reclaim its sport touring heritage rather than abandon it completely. Whether this engine becomes a revived VFR, an all-new platform, or simply a defensive patent remains unknown, but the technical filings make one thing clear. Honda is quietly exploring high-performance V-engine architecture once again. For now, fans and analysts will be watching closely for prototypes, concept teasers, or a surprise appearance at major motorcycle shows, waiting to see whether the VFR legacy is truly set for a modern rebirth.